Conan, not the Barbarian. Conan, just Conan. WCW. Conan. All right. So, I got to meet Conan one time. He's a very nice guy. He's got a podcast. I went and I did his podcast with him. He and Disco Inferno, we're doing one. This is a few years back. Maybe it's still out there. I'm just sharing for you. One and only time I got to visit with him. Nobody's in character, and he was a very pleasant guy. Now, I say it to you that way because I don't know that he was a thug. I just know he played one in the late 90s. And, I mean, he played like a real, like a gangbanger type angle when he's in WCW. But he acted it, right? We all are, as human beings, whoever we pretend to be. So, when he's in character and he's doing that, there was a legit tough guy in the front row named Troy Hughes. Now, I know Troy Hughes because he was my teammate, and I know he's a legit tough guy because I've never beaten him. But Troy had just had a vertebrae surgery. He had just, it was in his back or his neck. He had just had it. And a huge wrestling fan. Troy had an opportunity. I believe they were in Spokane, which is his hometown, but he had an opportunity to go to this event. He's got great seats. He took it. So Conan and his opponent are outside the ring. And they're doing their spot, and Troy's yelling, and Troy's part of it, whatever he is, and Conan smacks him. Conan hit him. Make no mistake, he hit him. He just didn't hit him in the head. So if you hit somebody but it's not the head, sometimes you don't call it a hit. You call it something else, like a chop or a smack or a backhand. But whatever, and he knocked Troy back. There's nowhere to go, right? You got your chair at your knees. And somebody puts some force on you. You go back. For a guy that had just had his vertebrae, ouch. Ouch. Kind of a big deal that nobody, surprise, attacks him. And Troy did nothing with that. And I mean nothing. And there was even a suggestion back then. The world was a little bit different in the 90s. Like there wasn't .coms. Not everybody had an email. Very few people had cellular telephones. But I'm just sharing, like getting messages and getting stories out was kind of hard. But I did hear people in the training room that were aware that this happened speak to him and ask him if he was going to sue. And Troy said, of course I want to sue. And they said, well, you're in a different spot. But first off, he put hands on you. They can't do that. They'll have video footage that your lawyer would be able to subpoena or threaten to subpoena. But because you just came off the surgery, it's going to be very different. You're going to get a settlement. And I even heard somebody tell him 50 grand. Now, I only bring this to you because Troy had a different code. Troy said, Conan came out of the ring over where we were, which we thought was cool. He only attacked me because I did, and then there was something. He stuck his head in there. He yelled something. Whatever it was, he was cheering. But Troy liked being part of the show. He wasn't upset, even though it did hurt. And even though Conan shouldn't have done it, and even though it's against the law to do, Troy wasn't upset. And I tell you that story because it's as close as I've personally been to an athlete punching a fan. And I'm watching UFC 300 over the weekend, and here comes Tsarukyan to the ring. And he throws a punch at a fan. But I can't see the fan. So now I'm left to make the assumption it was at a fan. What else would it be at? But moreover, because I can't actually see the person, I don't know if it landed. Now, this is just for me. If you guys have different angles, go right ahead. This is the one that I saw. This was a monitor in the back. I'm not even positive that's the same feed that was played out to the world. Dana had to talk about it. And Dana, as only Dana can do, would do, and consistently does do, backed his guy. Dana said, well, I mean, you shouldn't be taking shots at these guys. You know, they're all amped up. They're in this mode. There's a reason I've got security on every side. They're walking to war. They're in a different headspace. Dana just defended him. And Dana said, I fully expect to be sued. I'll deal with that on Monday. Well, the fan who, okay, well, hold that thought. Dana defended him. Then Tsarukyan comes to the press conference. He gets asked about it. I think it was Kevin Iole. Might have been John Morgan, but he teased him up and says, man, what happened there? Tsarukyan told the truth. So the guy showed me the middle finger, which I think is funny, by the way. Like, I know that's simple, but he showed me the middle finger as opposed to he flipped me off. Right, so this is a Russian trying to explain in English to a North American reporter. Says he showed me the finger. And then Tsarukyan goes further. He says, do not show me the finger. Do not any of you, please, do not show me the finger unless you're at least 100 yards, because I don't want to go to jail, and I will go to jail, because I will punch you if you show me the finger. It was just like, he ended up making poetry out of a crime. There was something about this that just worked. And the fan spoke up. The fan came out. And he was like Troy Hughes. Happy to be part of it. Accepted responsibility. Admitted that he showed him the finger. And see, that's very relevant because the fan is not seen on TV. I mean, if you're talking about from a legal standpoint, like, I don't know that you could get away with saying I flipped him off and therefore professional attack me. Like, I don't even know if that's going to hold up, but I'm just sharing for you. The fan painted the picture for anything that we didn't see. Oh, and by the way, he backed up Shakarian. Backed him up by saying what he told you happened is exactly what happened. And then the fan accepted responsibility, apologized, and would make it clear, I'm not going to sue. He said, I wouldn't mind a ticket for myself and my girl. I think he even had a show. UFC 303, I think, is what he wanted. But I thought it was an interesting story. I really did. No, Shakarian's wrong. And I still don't know if that punch landed. Like, when I saw it go, it was extended, the shoulder, the arm, I could see that, like, that would break a brick, that punch. I mean, it was a real punch. But I don't know if it landed. I don't know if it hit him, if it missed him. Maybe he was aiming for the finger, that's why it didn't hurt. Maybe he aimed for the shoulder. I don't know. I don't have these details. But Shakarian told the truth. And Shakarian asked you to please not show him the finger because he doesn't want to go to jail. And that particular fan that stepped forward and handled it the way Troy did, I hope they get him the tickets. And I think that was a cool move. And there's nothing in America, nothing. And there used to be, doctor or lawyer. Everybody's parents were talking about that. Maybe someday you could be a doctor or lawyer. And then you get the people that tell you about an astronaut. You'll hear these really wonderful things. Those used to be powerful. You have the politician, you'd have the millionaire. They still had power. But right now, the most powerful thing in America is the victim. If you can be a victim, but you get it all of it. Trust, money, everything, beyond rebuke, beyond question. And this gentleman had the opportunity to be a victim. And he did not take it. In fact, without being solicited, he handed it back. If he wants to show some fighter the middle finger, he bought a ticket. I'm on the opposite side of it. I don't think a fan has to cheer you, and I don't think a fan has to be nice. He's not allowed to touch you, but I think he can show you the middle finger. And so for that guy to come out, get in front of this, and let everybody know it's cool in the gang when the boss is already expecting to be sued, which basically means he's accepting the lawsuit, let's talk and get this done, and the guy says no, I think for that he deserves a little respect. And I'm on his side, and I'd like to see him get those 2 tickets.